Hello everybody and welcome to another Warframe showcase with your host Death Maestro, and today we are looking at our reluctant warrior Baruuk. We will start with his passive. Each projectile dodge, each enemy lulled or disarmed erodes Baruuk's restraint and fuels the storm within. As Baruuk restraint is diminished, he becomes up to 50% more resistant to damage. And let's get to our first ability, Elude, dodging all incoming projectiles but only while not attacking. Our second ability, Lull, a calming wave slows enemies until they fall into a slumber. Enemies woken by damage will become confused and disoriented. Short-term amnesia means all woken enemies forget anything that's happened before the lull. And our third ability, Desolate Hands, summoning a bevy of orbiting daggers to seek out enemy guns, destroying them with a small explosion, combined with Elude to double the range. Keep that in mind. And our ultimate ability, Serene Storm. With his restraint eroded, Baruuk commands the desert sands to deliver a powerful radial strikes with his fists and feet. Each moment commanding a storm restores his restraint. A very, very powerful Warframe. Mostly support and DPS, but can be a very, very good crowd control if you build more into Lull and Desolate Hands, and a very, very good frame to run through the star chart with if you get a hold of a good build for Serene Storm. We will be getting to that shortly. First, let's check out the build. I am running an augment, which is Reactive Storm, grants plus 250% status chance, and changes its damage type matching the enemy's weakness. And next we will be getting to the build on Desert Wind. And this is what we're going with right now, Life Strike and Spoil Strike. Of course, accompanying it with Prime Pressure Point and Prime Fury. Of course, like with all exalted weapons, Serene Storm has its own stance, and today we will see how he plays. First of all, as you can see, knockdowns can still hurt you, but every bullet shot is just passing right through me. And reducing restraint by a good amount, especially for heavy gunners or any enemy with automatic weaponry. I know this is a bit out of order, but let's show off Lull. As you can see, the enemies begin to slow until they are all rendered unconscious and open for finishers that deal a devastating amount of damage. There's also Desolate Hands that will also disarm enemies even if asleep. As you can see, they just all have to run up and melee me. They don't have any guns. Keep in mind, I believe this one is a temporary disarm, is it? Oh, that's something I didn't notice. It's... how can I explain this? A lot of Warframes have different ways of disarming a target, but a few have ways of permanently disarming a target, and it appears to me that Baruuk's Desolate Hands is a permanent disarm. Well, mostly because the enemies can't actually pick up a gun that isn't there. But now that our restraint has diminished, we may release the storm upon them. Keep in mind, the waves sent out by by Desert Storm, does do a good amount of damage, but physical hits will deal even more. And by holding the correct button along with your melee combos, you can actually bring enemies towards you or send them away from you. I like to gather them up real quick, but they're all over the place. It does work on heavy attacks as well. It was like walking up to be annihilated. Anyway guys, this has been our reluctant warrior Baruuk, and I will see you guys next time. Just because he's a pacifist does not mean he isn't a true